Good morning, SunUp on 7 family. We're excited to welcome you to our first conversation with our first guest. Today we're going to be learning about Hol Chan Marine Reserve and their upcoming training, basically a very cool initiative on how we can protect our reef. It's called something with reef insurance. So we're going to be learning more about that, how the process works, learning more about Hol Chan Marine Reserve and how you can be involved in the training and ensure that we protect our reef. So talking to us about that, we have Ms. Kirah Forman-Castillo, the technical supervisor at Hol Chan. Good morning, Ms. Kirah. How are you doing?
Hi, morning. I'm doing good.
You're doing well?
Yep.
Yes? How are you enjoying the weather?
I like that it's warming up. I do not like the cold.
I'm with you on that. See?
You're supposed to be with me. No, I want it to be cold. I want the cold.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into the
conversation. Right.
I think the term reef insurance just sounds so weird when people would hear, like, I know about car insurance, I know about health insurance, I even know about life insurance and all these things, but when you hear reef insurance, like, what does that mean? So
it's very innovative.
Bring that down to us.
Yeah.
So the training, as you mentioned, we're having an upcoming training in May, and the training is really forming an emergency response brigade. But what the brigade is for is that we have a pilot project for 2 pilot sites in Belize where we have insured portions of the reef. So the areas that have been insured is the Turnef Atoll and the Hol Chan Marine Reserve. So these are the first 2.
Okay.
It's a novel concept. It's being applied in Mexico as well. And so what it does is that if there's in the event of a hurricane, a major storm, any major disturbance to the reef, and insurance is going to be paid based on the category. If it's a category 1, if it's a category 2, so what is being paid out will depend on the intensity of the storm and the damages to these 2 particular areas. These areas were chosen because of the biodiversity, because but not only because of that, they're important economically. Hol Chan is one of the most visited marine protected areas in the country. I a little bit biased and I boast, right? But
boast, honey. Nobody will stop you.
We are one of the #1 destination. We have a lot of biodiversity, and while we do have challenges in terms of reef health, we have diseases coming in. When it comes to biodiversity and fish abundance, we can do some boasting there, and big up our management when it comes to that. So it's important that we protect these areas and that we have the funds available when there is an event that disturbs these sites to go back and respond. So what the training is to provide the persons that will then go out and respond.
Right.
So we have trained people that can go out and they can, similar to when a hurricane passes and it broke up everything, and we don't have, we see houses falling, we see all of the damage to the land, but what people don't often see is the damage to the reef. Our reef is our first line of defense.
Yep.
So when that storm surge comes in, it tends to topple over things as well, but it slows down the surge in the process. So we want to maintain that structure, and so to go back out and similar to like we're rebuilding our house or rebuilding, the community, we're doing that to the reef. So we're turning things back over. You have a short window of time where you can rescue and save some of these corals. So it's to provide the training and we can't do it on our own.
Okay.
Our teams are small within the different areas, and so we need assistance from the community. So the training will be geared towards persons living within San Pedro, Kikaker, and the Turnef area, because these are the pilot sites. The rest of the country that feel bad, we do want to roll it out and have trained people in all the different sites.
But you're just testing it out there, right?
We're just testing it out and focusing on these areas for now.
Yeah.
So we're gearing towards these communities to get them involved, but to have them, because oftentimes they're the ones on site. It's difficult to get people from inland to come after a hurricane and leave their house. But so we need people that are from the sites, from the stakeholder communities, that will be able to respond.
Right. And I love that it's called a rapid response mechanism that's going to be in place, because you're saying like it's very crucial that the area is assessed within a short amount of time, and whatever we can do to help preserve the health of the reef is very key. Like you mentioned, it's good because of our biodiversity, but also the economic viability that these areas have. So we can see how the training is going to be really helpful in doing that. So
in regards to the training, I know you mentioned the areas that, Kikaker, San Pedro, Turnef, but people, who are you looking at specifically? Who would be eligible? Like what skill set, capacity are they supposed to be able to be qualifying for the training?
So for the purpose of this one, we've had 2 other previous trainings last year. This is the 3rd one. We're focusing on divers specifically, advanced divers, people with some experience diving. Within the brigades, there will be need for different people, even for non-divers or non-snorkelers, people who would need to stay on the boat. But for the purpose of this particular one, we're focusing on divers, on advanced with experience, because they'll be learning things like how to drill underwater.
Oh wow!
Using lift bags to move heavy pieces. So they do want people who are very comfortable in the water and can swim very well.
Yeah.
But for future trainings, because this is not going to be the last one.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, we have instructors, Belizean instructors that are being trained as instructors. So then we would have the capacity to do additional trainings in country. And so we would be able to provide training for snorkelers and for others to gain other skill sets and that we will need.
Awesome.
They'll be mixing cement and using how to use cement underwater to
Oh
epoxy.
wow!
Yeah. What's beautiful about this course is it's free. So anybody that's interested, like divers we're focusing on now, if you're interested in participating in this reef restoration program, the course is free. Can you tell us how can people go about registering?
So if you go, we have it on the Hol Chan's Facebook page, the Turnef Atoll Association Facebook page. There's the information and the link to and the Fisheries Department page. The link to the application. There's an application process they need to provide, and we're hoping that we get these applications by mid-February.
Okay.
Why? Because we can vet, and there's a vetting process for the applicants. So even though the course isn't until May, and if we don't get enough, we still have time to get more people to join in. There's a very small number because of COVID, only 15 participants. Like I said, even if you don't make it into this one, there is going to be other opportunities. So go to our Facebook page. There's a link, and you can find the application form.
Okay.
And it gives you all the details with the course announcement and what it is geared. It outlines the skill sets that we're looking for.
And in regards to the application process, I know you mentioned that, are there certain things that they need to be having, like they need to have maybe like a recommendation letter, things like that to be able to qualify to? Because I'm thinking for viewers at home that want to be a part of this, how can they be able to say, okay, I have X, Y, and Z ahead of time, or just be like, you know what, I can't qualify?
There's a medical form that they will need to fill out because we want people to be healthy. If they have dive insurance, most divers do have dive insurance. So in the case of an accident, so we want to ensure that they are safe. We hope that there's no accident, but if there is, that they have dive insurance. And other than being advanced swimmers and divers, those are the main qualifications.
Yeah.
And the training runs from May 17th?
17th to the 20th.
Okay, and those are full days?
Full days, and it's paid in San Pedro. So persons, if they're coming from the mainland, they would have to pay their passage to get there. But once they're there, everything else will be covered.
Okay, awesome.
So, I love the opportunity for divers, for people that have this connection with the sea. That you can do your part as much as how you mentioned. You do your part to ensure that your house is well after the hurricane. We do our part to ensure that our reef is well, because the health of the reef impacts our health as well, right? So from our mental health to our physical health is very important for us to participate. So anybody that's interested in volunteering, do you have any words for the viewers to convince them as to why they should participate in this training?
Sell it to them.
Sell it to them, please. Please.
Yes, we do. I want to encourage everybody to participate. It's a lot of work. We have a lot of reef area. This is one of our, it has a lot of importance for us from the tourism aspect. But storm surge protection, each time a storm hits, it lowers that protection. So we want to ensure that when the next big one comes, that we're always prepared. So it's, as a country, it's important that we know that we have this and we maintain it, because in the long run, it's for our benefit, even for persons living in Belize City all along the coast. It provides us an important service. So let's, give back a little bit to reef health, and let's do our little part. And everybody can do it. We welcome everyone. We're focusing in the north, but we want to do this throughout the entire country because we need people trained throughout the entire country. We don't just have reef in the north, we have down south as well.
Exactly.
So I want to encourage as much people to apply. And even if you don't get in for this one, we have a log, we could go back again. And as we plan out other trainings, you can still get into future ones. But let's do our part. You know, we get so much services, and for the economics for the country too. Whenever there's a hurricane, we do have to, as the fisheries department, we do have to provide a detailed assessment to the government so that we can see what is the damages that has been done and what has been lost. And so these persons who are trained will be assisting in doing that assessment as well. So they will be trained in assessment techniques.
Yeah.
So
will all this training get like certificates along the way too as well?
Yes, it will be getting a certificate. And it's not just a training and then that's it. The brigade, we're hoping that it will be a group that will stay in communication, that they will be connected, they'll become part of the little brigade family.
Yes, the response team.
Yes, and they will be throughout the year constant communication and be involved in. So if you're interested in the reef, in restoring, you know, it's an opportunity for you to be more involved and not just for a brief time for the training, but continuously.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely have some diver friends that will be looking forward to participating in this training. Yeah, you know, and I love that you started by saying that we often, whenever we think about hurricanes, we only assess what happens in the mainland.
Yeah.
Right, and we see a lot of debris that gets washed down into the ocean. So now that you're coming here and saying we're also assessing the reef because it's very important. It's our first protective barrier. So there we go, and ensuring that everything is well.
And all that is, as I said, it is being funded through the Nature Conservancy and TNC Mexico. So we're getting a lot of support for now. But the idea is for us to build the capacity in country that we can then move forward on our own.
I love that. Again, just being able to put the correct investments, having reef insurance. Who knew? Now we know, and now we can be a part of it. But I just really want to thank you so much, Ms. Forman-Castillo, because we know how we have to say the full name, for being here, for sharing this information. I'm hoping that a lot of our viewers out there, they can be able to take control, find it on the Facebook page, be able to tell a friend, but be involved as much as you can. And so with that, we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be talking trauma and healing with Miss Cynthia Ellis Topsy. So stay tuned for that exciting, very important conversation.